Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad you're here. Today we're diving into a topic that's often misunderstood: the sacred images of the Catholic Church. When you walk into a Catholic church, one of the first things you'll notice is the presence of statues, icons, stained glass, and paintings. For some people, that raises a question. Wait a second. Doesn't the Bible forbid making images? That's a really important question, so let's take a closer look. In Exodus 20 for 4 to 5, God gives the commandment: "You shall not make for yourself a carved image. You shall not bow down to them or serve them." Now, at first glance, it might sound like God is banning all images. But notice carefully, what God is really forbidding is idolatry, making an image and then worshiping it as a false god. And here's the key: the very same Bible passages that forbid idolatry also show God commanding sacred images to be made. In Exodus 25:18 to 20, God tells Moses to make golden cherubim, heavenly angels, to be placed on top of the Ark of the Covenant. In Numbers 21:8 and 9, God tells Moses to make a bronze serpent and lift it on a pole, and those who looked at it were healed. And Jesus himself later refers to that serpent in John 3:14 to 15, saying, "As Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, so must the Son of Man be lifted up, that whoever believes in him may have eternal life." Then in 1 Kings 6, when Solomon builds the temple, the sanctuary is filled with carvings of cherubim, palm trees, and flowers, along with two massive angel statues. Clearly, these images weren't idols. They were holy art, ordered by God, pointing his people toward his glory. And this theme continues in the prophet Ezekiel's vision of the temple. In Ezekiel 41, verse 17 to 19, we read, "From the ground up to above the entrance, cherubim and palm trees were carved on the wall of the inner and outer sanctuary. Each cherub had two faces: the face of a man toward the palm tree on one side, and the face of a lion toward the palm tree on the other." So even in God's own revealed vision, the holy sanctuary is filled with sacred images, not for worship, but to remind God's people of his heavenly presence. The Catholic Church follows the same principle today. We do not worship images. Instead, we use them as windows into the divine, reminders of Christ, of his sacrifice, of the saints who point us to him. The Catechism of the Catholic Church, paragraph 2132, puts it beautifully. "The honor paid to sacred images is a respectful veneration, not the adoration due to God alone. Religious worship is not directed to images in themselves, but under their distinctive aspect as images which lead us on to God incarnate." Think of it like this. When you look at a photo of a loved one, you don't believe the photo is the person. Instead, the picture reminds you of them, brings them to mind, and even stirs up your love. Sacred images work the same way. A crucifix draws our hearts to Jesus' sacrifice. A statue of Mary reminds us of her faith and intercession. Icons of the saints inspire us to imitate their holiness. These images are not ends in themselves. They point us to the greater reality of Christ. And this isn't just theory. The Church defended this teaching in history. During the iconoclast controversy in the 8th century, some wanted to destroy all images. But the Second Council of Nicaea in 787 declared that sacred images are not idols, but holy signs that direct our minds to God. That's why, for centuries, sacred art has been called the Bible of the poor. Long before most people could read, images in churches taught the faith, the life of Christ, the mysteries of the Rosary, the witness of the saints. So the next time you walk into a Catholic church and see stained glass, a crucifix, or a statue, remember, these images aren't there to replace God. They're there to point us to him. As St. Paul says in Colossians 1:15, Christ is the image of the invisible God. Because God became visible in Jesus, it's fitting that his image and the images of his saints remain visible in the church. Thank you so much for joining me today as we explored the sacred images of the Catholic Church. If you enjoyed this and want to learn more about the beauty of our Catholic faith, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with a friend. Until next time, may God bless you and keep you always in his grace.